Welcome to Beer Disciples. I'm Ross Quintana.
I'm Rob Hubbard.
That's right. And this is our beer today that we're going to try. This is a Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. And I'm excited to review this. I actually thought that you might like this beer when we were talking about, you said you like wheat beers, and I thought, well, maybe you'll like this. This is one I always enjoy in the summertime. Now, I will preface this that it hasn't got good reviews. And sometimes, hey, I don't give a crap what people are saying. You know what? I'm going to rate it, you know. And if it's bad, maybe my opinions will change. But I've always liked it. And so we'll see how it turns out in the glass. You know, sometimes you go on to BeerAdvocate or RateBeer, and, you know, they rate some beers really high. And I've thought, that is horrible. Mm-hmm. And so there's some subjectiveness, but anyway, we'll see what goes on. This is from Samuel Adams. It's Cherry Wheat, 2011. They're also, Sam Adams is owned by Boston Brewing Company. They're out of Boston, Massachusetts. The style on this I put is just a flavored beer. I consider any of this, whether it's an IPA or a stout. I mean, obviously this is a wheat beer. But really I kind of clump all of those into flavored beer categories because they're trying to do something, you know, outside of the box with flavors, so I kind of rate it that way. The top beers in this category are the Kuhnen Raspberry Eisbach, I hope I said that right, Wisconsin Belgian Red, and anything basically from New Glarus. They kind of dominate this fruit beer category, which I've never tried their stuff. I don't know if it's available around here. ABVs on this are 5.3. IBUs, I did track down, were 23. And again, I will say it as I always say it, beer makers, craft beer people want to know more about their beer. So put the ingredients and the IBUs and all that on your website or on the beer. They got to get in tune with the people who are drinking their beers. Anyway, what's in the bottle, I'll tell you. Malts, we got 2-row Harrington, Metcalf, Copeland Pale, Munich 10, and malted wheat. For hops, we have Hallertau, Mittelfrüh, Noble hops. Had to bust out all my German here, my Germlish. And then in addition to that is Michigan cherries and honey. So they've added some stuff. Suggested serving temp on that is between 40 and 45. So I'll let you crack that open actually while I read the description. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat follows the century-old American tradition of brewing beer with native ingredients. In this case, Michigan cherries as well as a touch of honey. The sweet fruitiness of the cherries is balanced against the crisp cereal note from the malted wheat and the subtle citrus flavor of the noble hops. The end result's a sweet, refreshing beer that is light on the palate but long on complexity. Breathe in. Come on, Sam Adams. You're giving me verbal diarrhea here. There's a lot of information. That's a good image to have for you. Yeah, is that the one we want? Okay. Not diarrhea, just plain old stool. It's not liquidy, so therefore, why would I care? Introduced in 1995 as a summer seasonal brew, Sam Adams Cherry Wheat developed a large enough following to be introduced year-round style. Its distinct cherry characters made it one of the most unique and well-liked styles of Sam Adams beer ever. Cherries are added at 2 different points in the brewing process, once during the mash and again during the finish. And what I found out is actually it's not really that they're added at the finish, it's a cherry flavor, so I don't know what that means. Normally I'm not a fan of that kind of information, but anyway. So let's get to it. RateBeer has this at a 31. Woo! Smoking 31! That's almost as low as I've ever seen here. Overall, 53 for the style out of 1,522 ratings. BeerAdvocate has it as a C+. Out of 1,072. Man, Cherry Wheat got kicked in the little balls, didn't it, from the Raiders? But hey, let's see what happens, okay? Let's get a pour on. We'll start with me, little old me. I don't want to take too much here. Take a look at that. Yeah, that looks pretty good, huh? I got some good action on that.
Yeah.
Nice head. Got a decent head. It's not, it's fairly tight bubbles. They look like little beads, don't they? You can't see it over here. Gets the light. It's pretty funny. Why don't you get your pour on? I didn't leave you a ton. Wow.
Oh.
Maybe
There's
not
a little
quite.
bit in there.
Did you see it though? See, it looks so much better in that glass.
Yeah, it does.
It had a little wall of like cascading bubbles.
Well, Sam Adams glass for Sam Adams beer, I guess.
That's right. Anyway, so appearance for me, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with a not a bad looking beer. I'm right between 3.5 and 4. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. How about you?
I'll give it a 4. It looks good to me. It looks like honey.
Yeah, I almost could have gone 4 really. Let's go with a smell. Get our smell on. What do you think?
I can smell the wheat, and I can definitely smell the cherries.
Okay. So I'm in between. So it's not fresh cherries. I don't think it's cough syrup either. I like the way it smells. I like the smell of cherries. So for smell for me, I'm gonna go with a 4 because it's a cherry beer. And here's the reason why I guess maybe a lot of people rated it poorly, saying, "Oh, it smells like cough syrup. It's too strong," you know. But to me, when you contrast that with all the flavored beers, chocolate indulgence. I could neither smell nor taste chocolate in that. It was a shame. You got all these other beers who say, "Oh, it's a coconut, Maui coconut porter." Neither heard, saw, or coconut was not to be seen in that beer. So for me, whereas most of them say there's something in there and they totally don't deliver any, to me, I guess maybe I looked past its strong smell because I was like, oh, at least it says it's a cherry wheat beer. If you want a beer with a hint of cherries, then that would be what you'd look for. But to me, if it says it's a cherry wheat beer, I expect cherries. So let's get to the taste on this.
It's a nice flavor.
Isn't it though? I mean, despite the smell, right? Because I think the smell's also impacted people. Because when you taste that in no way tastes heavy cherry.
No.
As a matter of fact, it tastes more like a wheat beer with hints of cherry. Just exactly. That's where I guess I got the concept of that natural cherry flavor is in the taste.
Yeah. You can taste the actual cherries. I think the smell is more of that the natural flavor.
Natural flavor.
That's what it smells like to me. And I think the taste, though, is the actual cherries that are in
it. It doesn't taste really sweet. It's kind of bready, and you definitely get 90% wheat beer. It's almost a little bready. Remember that Erdinger Hefeweizen? Like it could have used just a little more bready notes. Like this much bready would have been great on that because it had a great balance and it had the cloudiness and all that. But I really like this, and I think that the cherries are in perfect balance in there.
It reminds me of Cheerios. I don't know.
Yeah.
Little weedy.
The breadiness at the end definitely tastes like eating plain Cheerios.
Yeah.
So for me, for taste, I'm going to go with a 4 or 5 on this. I really like this. I always have liked this. This is a great beer in the summertime. It's a great beer to grab a piece of pizza, in August in the preseason game. NFL, what? Coming around? What?
Yeah, it's pretty light.
Yeah. It's and Sam Adams, they always have a good clean roll off, so it doesn't really stick with you too much. They're fairly high carbonation in general, but I felt like on taste they really did a great job on this. Mouthfeel, I'm gonna say probably for what it is, I'm gonna go 3.5. These aren't big beers. You can get the malt body a little bit there. I do in the mouthfeel get just a tad of whatever maybe that natural flavoring is. It's like when you drink enough beers, you can tell when something else is in there, and it leaves that just slight film that I feel. They should have just done like dry hopping, just like taken the end product and soaked it in some more cherries, dry cherried it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rate this. I'm going to rate this beer a B+. Give it a taste. I think it was a great blend of flavors and the wheat.
Yeah, I think for me the only drawback is really the smell that it did. I can sympathize with the cough syrup people because it did kind of taste like that unnatural cherry smell to me. So
Take another smell there as you get further into it. See, it seems
now this
like
smells nice right
See,
now. So I don't know.
I'm not getting that at all now. I think a lot of that was the head, and like you said, I think it was those natural flavors, whatever was getting out there, and it was almost too concentrated. Because right now,
Yeah, maybe more volatile.
I'm getting very close to what's in the glass,
Yeah,
which is a
nice
super
here.
more mild cherry. So come on, guys, give it a chance. All right, so anyway, leave comments. You know, this beer will get different opinions. Like I said, give it a minute and re-smell it. And I think, you know, I've seen some people who take the first sip, they smell it, take the first sip, you know, and then they pour it out, and it's like, really? Because this is pretty good drinking.
Cool.
And even the one negative, which some people don't like, the overwhelming cherry smell at the beginning, goes away after you get about halfway through. So
yeah, it's gone now.
Anyway, I will say check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/BeerDisciples. Yeah, if you have comments or you have a beer you'd like us to review, you can get us at thebeerdisciples@gmail.com. If you're in Eastern Washington and you want to review a beer, you'd be a guest on the show, bring a beer by, we'll review it with you. You can get us on the Gmail account there. And you want to do beer mail or trade or whatever, let us know. We'd be happy to oblige. So until next time, I'm going to say cheers.